All right, in this video, I'm gonna go over how to go from 100K per year to 200K per year as a software engineer. I'm talking about doubling your income, adding an extra $8,000 a month in income. And just to give you a little bit of proof that I know what I'm talking about, here are the offer letters I got from Amazon as well as Google. These offer letters were over $200,000 a year in Bay Area and New York City. So these salaries are legitimately possible even if you're, just 1 or 2 years into your career. And so this is how I'm gonna explain everything with this Google Doc. I know it's kind of ghetto, but trust me, I'm about to drop some actually valuable information that's gonna help you land a big tech offer. So let's get into it. I know it's kind of ghetto, but just bear with me. First things first, before I even get into any of the actual strategies for going from 100K per year to 200K per year as a software engineer, before I even get into the strategies, one of them is called the bottleneck method, one of them is called resume optimization. I'll talk about how to actually cold email recruiters in a way that actually gets them to respond to you, the importance of mock interviews and how to do them, and then of course profiting. Before we even get into any of that, why should you even look for a new role as a software engineer? If you're watching this video, you're already making $100,000 per year as a software engineer somewhere in the US, and you're trying to get to $200,000 a year, potentially. But why even look for a new role, right? 100K per year is obviously not bad. Well, the truth is, the more time goes on in your career, the harder it's gonna be to switch. The harder it's gonna be to switch. A lot of people think it's the opposite. A lot of people think, oh, the more experience I gain at my current role, when I want to switch, it'll be easier, right? Completely wrong. That could not be farther from the truth. The sooner that you try and get into big tech, and the sooner that you try and bump up salaries in your career, the easier it will be. As you get more senior, as your number of years of experience goes up, it actually gets harder to switch. So it's easier to switch if you're earlier on. Now is the time. If you've kind of been on the fence about looking for a new role, I promise you now is the time. This is the year you want to do it, this year in 2026. Now, how do you actually go about it? How do you freaking double your income and go from 100K per year to 200K per year? Well, the strategy that I use to do it, and what literally got me these offers from Amazon and Google, it's called the bottleneck method. The bottleneck method. And here's what it entails. If you have no upcoming interviews, stop fucking studying for interviews. Excuse my language. I see so many people who don't have any interviews lined up. You look at their calendar, you look at Google Calendar on their phone for the next month, there's absolutely no interviews, not even a recruiter screen or an OA. And they're fucking grinding leak code every day. They're doing system design. They're brushing up on behavioral stories. Stop fucking doing that. It's a giant waste of time. What are you studying for if you don't have any upcoming interview? Genuinely, you are literally preparing for something that doesn't exist. No matter how much you study for interviews, that's not gonna magically make a Google OA or a Google interview appear on your calendar. It's not addressing the root issue, which is the fact that you don't have any fucking interviews coming up. So if you don't have actually anything scheduled, lined up on the calendar for the next 30 days in terms of interviews, please stop studying and preparing for interviews. It's literally a waste of time because it's not getting you any interviews, and that's the immediate problem that you have, okay? A lot of people might disagree with that, and they might say, well, oh, what if I get an interview and then I'm not ready for it and then I bomb it? Well, you're in your head. That's the imposter syndrome talking. That's the self-doubt talking. That's a later problem. Get the interview first, then you can go all out on interview prep and shift gears and study super hard for the interview. Stop letting your fear of failure stop you from even taking that first step, which is just sending out the applications, reaching out to the recruiters, getting the referrals, doing whatever it takes to get the interview. You're so afraid, and maybe this doesn't apply to you, so my bad if I'm generalizing you who's watching this right now, but you're probably so afraid to fail the interview that's stopping you from even shooting your shot in the first place. And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So please, if you don't have any interviews coming up, please stop preparing for interviews and instead just shift all your time and energy into getting more interviews. Optimizing your resume once and for all. And I'll get to that in a bit because your resume probably has some issues even if you think it's fine. Trust me on that one. Optimizing your resume, sending out applications around 3 to 5 per day, a reasonable amount. reaching out to recruiters, not on LinkedIn though. That doesn't work. There's another way to reach out to recruiters, which I'll go over in step 3. Getting referrals from, if you've got like close friends or relatives at these big tech companies, right? Just doing things that could actually move the needle and get an interview scheduled on your calendar. That's what you should be spending all your time and energy on if you have no upcoming interviews. If you actually have an upcoming interview scheduled, fine, I'll allow it. I give you permission to do some leak code and actually prepare for interviews. But if you don't have anything coming up, stop fucking preparing for interviews. That's the bottleneck method. Now let's go into step 3, which is how do you actually get some more interviews? I think I've yelled at you enough. If you're actually still watching this video, you're a real one for not clicking off by now. But how do you actually get more interviews lined up and on the calendar? Well, there's 2 main things. And first strategy I call resume optimization, and the other strategy is cold emailing recruiters. I'll do resume optimization first. I'll cover what the heck that is. That's the process of, for once and for all, finally fixing all the tiny things on your resume for ATS and the eyes of a recruiter. You have to optimize your resume for ATS, those automatic filters that companies use, and you have to optimize it for the eyes of a recruiter and a hiring manager, like the best practices that those decision makers actually look for when they got your resume in front of them and they're trying to see, should we give this person an interview or not? You've really got to optimize it. Everything from the structure and the template, the keywords in the technical skills section, the precise titles you use for your experiences, having enough, metrics, percentages, quantitative impact in your bullet points, even structuring your education section the right way. For some people, it needs to be at the top. For some people, it needs to be at the bottom, right? Actually optimizing your resume based on all of the best practices in the industry right now. I have mentored hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of software engineers at this point over the past few years. I review hundreds and hundreds of resumes every month for early career SWEs, people at the SWE 1, SWE 2 level, sometimes senior software engineering level. And I have never seen a perfect resume. Everyone has got like 5 to 10 things on their resume that really need to be fixed. And it's holding them back from getting interviews at their like dream companies, whether that's Google, Apple, Meta, Stripe, whatever, Netflix. And think about it. If your resume was truly on point, because a lot of people think their resume is fine. They're like, yeah, I got some friends to look at it, and they said it was fine. It's not fine. If it were truly fine, you would be having tons of interviews lined up on the calendar, and you would be getting tons of interviews from the applications you're sending out. Stop coping and stop blaming the job market and the fact that there's all these other applicants. Other people are getting interviews. Some people are getting interviews at these top tech companies. And if it's not you, look at your resume. There's something clearly wrong with it. The second thing that will actually get you more interviews is cold emailing recruiters. Cold emailing recruiters. Whew. So many people waste time messaging recruiters on LinkedIn, and that's also a fucking waste of time. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of software engineers in the job market right now, and everyone's desperately DMing recruiters on LinkedIn. So recruiters, and I've literally spoken to big tech recruiters about this at Amazon and Google, and they have confirmed that they don't check their LinkedIn DMs because they get like thousands of messages a day. It's just not practical for them to respond to that. It would literally just take hours of their day just even to sift through the messages, much less actually respond to each one. So stop DMing on recruiters on LinkedIn. It's a huge waste of time. What does work is cold emailing recruiters, and that's a whole different thing. That's when you get the recruiter's work email and you send a very concise yet professional email to their work email address. So if it's a Google recruiter, it's their email ending in @google.com, their actual professional work email. Their work is going to require them to actually check that email inbox and open it up every day. And not many people really go through the hassle and the effort of finding the recruiter email and taking the time to write a nice email to the recruiter. So A, recruiters are forced to check their work email every day because it's work. And 2, because not many people actually take the extra step to cold email recruiters, it's way more effective because there's less competition. There's less messages in the recruiter inbox that you're competing with. And for me, cold emailing recruiters is actually how I got interviews and then, of course, ultimately offers from Amazon and Google. I had tried referrals. I knew a couple people that worked there who referred me. It didn't work. Still didn't get any interviews. Took matters into my own hands, found recruiters at these companies, cold emailed them, and that's how I got interviews at Amazon and Google. So I swear by cold emailing. I'm a huge advocate for it. And for every software engineer that I coach and that I mentor, this is probably like the number one unlock for them. And I'll probably leave a video in the description that explains how to actually find the recruiter emails, what to say in the email, what time of day to send the email, everything you need to know for cold emailing recruiters. Absolutely essential. Once you finally get some interviews lined up, you need to lock into mock interviews. Stop sitting in a room alone, staring at your laptop, doing the NeetCode 150. That's not going to cut it anymore for 2026 software engineering interviews. Companies' interviews are all over the place. Some of them are still asking LeetCode. Some of them are only doing system design. Some of them are just seeing how well you can use AI tools and how fast you can ship something with AI in a 30 to 45-minute interview. Some of them are just going all in on your technical deep dives, asking questions about your resume and your previous projects. Interviews are all over the place in 2026 for tech companies. So just studying for interviews by yourself, studying the NeetCode 150, that's not going to cut it anymore in 2026. In previous years, every company was just asking LeetCode. So, just sitting there and doing the NeetCode 150 was a reasonable way to prepare for interviews. And some companies, don't get me wrong, some companies are still 100% still asking like traditional LeetCode style questions like hash maps, sliding windows, two-pointers, graph questions, etc. But a lot of companies are shifting their interviews like every month. It's becoming more and more unpredictable, software engineering interviews in 2026. So the only way to prepare is to actually do one-on-one mock interviews with other software engineers, so you can constantly just keep your problem-solving muscles in your brain sharp, so you can just kind of be on your feet and be ready for any kind of interview. The more mock interviews you do, the more practice you do, the less anything can catch you off guard on the interview day. So mock interviews are basically the only way to actually prepare for SWE interviews in 2026, not just doing the NeetCode 150 by yourself. Step 5 is to profit. Congratulations, you are now making $200,000 per year as a software engineer, and life is good. More money's hitting your bank account every month, and life is good. You can travel more, you can, whatever you want to do with your money. Travel more, get a nicer car, whatever. There's going to be another video popping up on the screen soon. YouTube should place it somewhere on the screen over there, and it's going to go over how to actually fix your resume and how to properly reach out to recruiters the right way to get interviews at these companies. I hope you find this video valuable. I hope you profit, and I'll see you soon.